Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. This is Lady Di with Dating to Marriage Support. If you are new here, please hit the like button. I know y'all seen that you would have to hit that button. Why? Because you are on my channel, and that is just showing some support. You have to show some support if you're here. It's only right. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe. If you're new from Miss Peacock Mama, please subscribe as well. Thank you all for being here. So, yes, I have a special guest today. She is a mom as well. She's married and everything like that. So, I wanted to show some more diversity on this page, not just me, but other women who are very similar. So, we're going to get into a touchy topic today. And I say touchy because people are going crazy over this Rihanna picture. And I'm trying to understand, is it a big deal, or are people just like they got nothing else to do, nothing else to talk about? They just want to talk about somebody because they on television. So I want to get into that. Is this photo what they say it is, or is it just a regular photo? Like, what are we talking about here? So let me introduce my guest. Hey, girl, you're muted.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I am good. How are you? I love your yellow. Is that yellow? Yeah, yellow mic.
Yes.
That's bright.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just put the kids in the bed and yeah, we're here.
Girl, yes. Like the kids, they be all over the place. You understand? How many kids do
Right.
you have? Because I was trying to count.
Yeah. 6. Yes, I have 6.
Six.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
wow. Okay. That's what's up.
Yes.
So did you
Yes.
have them like back to back or what?
Most definitely. I've been married 10 years, right? And so for the majority of my marriage I've been pregnant. So yeah, I've had it was just 8, 7, 6, 5, no, 4, 3, and 1. There it goes.
Wait, so your oldest is 8?
Mhm. Mhm.
Wow. That's still very young.
Right,
Wow.
right. Yeah, I have a house full of babies.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. So I know
Yeah.
I just got right into the kids, but that's the
Right.
big part of our lives are the kids. So,
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
Rihanna, she has her baby in her photo as well, and she seems to be
Mhm.
pregnant now.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah. Did you guys plan to have kids back to back like that?
We did not. I thought ignorantly that breastfeeding was birth control. And then we kind of slipped up on the other ones. And then I was actually on birth control and then I still got pregnant. So it was just,
Wow.
good times. Good times. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they like to sometimes tell us things that are not even true. Like they
Right.
say it is, but is it really? Like they got scientific facts on this because
No,
obviously it didn't work.
it did not. It did not.
That is
Oh,
that
so,
is funny. So yeah, that's
yes,
what's
yes.
up. Yeah. So I put charger in the chat because my computer is about to go dead, and my
Oh,
husband did
okay,
not
okay.
put a charger on my computer. So if you
Okay.
listening, I need my charger, sir. Now, so yeah, girl, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now let's kind of get into this because this is like one of those things where is it like a right answer, a wrong answer? I don't really think so. I think it's just based on perspective and our,
Mm,
personal lives. So
yeah.
let me put this picture up. Let me see. Cause I am a big fan or was a big fan of Rihanna. I don't know about you.
Mhm,
Are you a
mhm.
fan of her?
No, I was never really a fan of Rihanna. I only really like 2, like when we watched her on the Super Bowl, I only knew 2 songs. So, I mean, yeah, no, not really. But I mean, she's cool. I have nothing, against her, but no, not really a fan. But yeah.
So who are you a fan of then, or was, or
I know it's like it seems like with age I keep growing out of fandom. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's
right,
more
right,
so,
yeah,
I was always a Beyonce girl. And don't know. I mean, she's it's still cool, but to be honest, I've been going backwards to the old school music and just revisiting them and how amazing they were. So I love the 60s and the 70s. Like so, I've kind of been traveling backward instead of being here in the present. So there's more of that.
Me. Look, I'm the
Yeah,
same. It's so cool
yeah,
that, you're saying the same thing that I say. Like, that's why I said I
yeah.
was, because I was a big Beyonce fan, big Rihanna
Mhm,
fan. But now, as I got
mhm.
older and then, got married, had all these kids, I'm like, I don't even be into that no more. And I don't know if it has
Right,
something to
right.
do because I got so many kids, my brain is wrapped up around them, or is it because
Mhm.
we just getting older? I don't really know
Right,
what it came
right,
first. Yeah,
right, right.
that's funny.
Uh,
What's up,
yeah.
History Podcast? What up, yo? Subscribe to the channel. Great content. Thank you so much. What's up, Mizzy Loves Company? Beautifully
Hey.
Animated Speaks. Hello. What's up? Thanks for being here. Bronx very own podcast. What's up, yo? New York in the building. Just
Oh,
showing some love tonight. Y'all get the likes up. Yes, thank you so much. She says, "Hey, Peacock Mama."
hey.
Yes, that's cool. Beautifully Animated also says birth control isn't 100%. Glad your babies came out healthy. Yeah,
They did. Yes, yes,
I
yes.
agree
Thank you
with
so
that.
much.
She also says I listen to music, but I'm not a fan of anyone. I love too many to pick. Yeah,
I
no,
know,
that's
right, right.
like I love that old school stuff. Like you can't get
Mm-hmm.
rid of it. Nothing like it today. Like I
Can't.
noticed that the dynamic of music has changed, but
Mm,
yeah.
right.
So all
Yeah,
right,
it's
let me
classic.
add. Mhm. Let me add this photo up here. All right. So, all right. This is it, right?
Let's get into it. Right.
Yeah, let's get into it because I mean, you want to go first or I can go first? Like what do you like when you seen this
Okay.
photo, what did you think of, honestly?
I honestly didn't think a thing. I was just like, oh, cool, Rihanna and her baby, because I never saw the baby before, because I just don't keep up. But I was just like, okay, cool, and then that was it. And then I kind of went past it. I didn't
Me?
dissect it at all. I actually didn't know anyone else was, until I was like, oh, okay. Well, let me do some research and see what people are talking about. So yeah, I really at first glance I thought nothing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How did you feel when you saw it?
So see, look, you guys might be a little surprised at my response, but I'm gonna have to agree
Okay.
with Peacock Mama because when I seen it, and I'm not on Rihanna's page like that right now. So when I seen it, I remember, okay, she did have a baby, but then
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure. Then I heard she was pregnant at the Super Bowl, and I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm not like into it. So when I first seen it, I literally was like, oh, there go the baby. I never seen the baby, And I'm like, okay, A$AP Rocky, that's who she with. I remember that. And then I kept
Mhm.
it moving. Like
Right.
I didn't dig deep. Now I was looking for more photos. Like the first photo I seen, it
Mhm.
was saying, "Oh, if you don't see nothing wrong with this, you're a feminist." And for me
Mm.
personally, I'm not a feminist, right? But
Mhm.
it didn't scream out nothing to me when I first seen it. I know I was looking for more photos because I know this is not it. I want to see a
Yeah.
collection to see if all of her photos look like this. Because if all of
Mhm.
her photos
Mhm.
look like this, then I'm gonna be like, oh, see, I know what people are talking about.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
to people saying that she is like the leader of her household, basically. That's what screams to
Right.
people. Like this is bad. Now, when you read some of the comments or seen some of the insight on this photo, did you agree with it then?
No, because see the thing about she's Rihanna. So I'm like, okay, she would be the focus because she's the star. And what I did see when I was looking at I looked at lots of videos and I read the comments, but it seemed as if what they were feeling was that okay, she's in this masculine place on the picture, and she is because it. I mean, that's just what it is. She's the focus, and That's just, I mean, there's nothing to disagree with, because that is what it is. But it doesn't, us saying that goes to her house and how she runs her home. I just feel like that's a bit of a stretch, because how do we know from a picture if she's running her home, if she's wearing the pants and all of this? I'm not quite understanding the connection. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was just like, yeah.
That's what I initially thought, because I was like, I don't like y'all going too deep, and I'm deep,
Mhm.
right? I like to go
Uh-huh.
dissect things. That's what I do.
Me
But
too. Mhm.
honestly, I didn't care too much when I seen it, and that's why I never even look at her page. So when people were
Mm.
like going in, I'm like, okay, let me see more photos because I'm trying to see where y'all getting at. Now, when I seen
Mhm.
the rest of the photos, I was like, okay, well, she's been the main focus every damn photo. And my thing is, okay,
Mm.
well, now since you're the main focus, then okay, I guess maybe you're saying that you run shit, like, you know,
Mhm.
and and so if that's the case, because honestly, let's say
Mhm.
you, for example, you have a husband, you have kids, would
Mhm.
all of your pictures be just you? Like, what would make it just be you? Is there anything in your brain that's gonna be like, nah, I'm the spotlight out of all these people that's behind me or whatever? Would you feel like that, and why?
I can't say I would. Honestly, I can't. I like to be a devil's advocate too. Ugh, but no, I really can't say I would. I would focus it. I know I can't say there. I would probably have a picture like if I was Rihanna. I would have a picture like that on the cover because I'm Rihanna. You know, who wants to see ASAP Rocky? You know what I mean? I understand that he's holding a baby. There's this like behavior analyst guy. He was saying that maybe they were trying to promote that men can be affectionate with their children, because there's an absence of a father in the home of lots of homes these days. So maybe they were trying to push that narrative. And I'm like, okay, that is an option. So we can consider that too. But like I said, yeah, I would have that. That probably would be the cover. Now going into the whatever it's called, the catalog of the pictures,
Mhm.
I would definitely have my family. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't just be the focus. But and maybe that is a reflection of how I am in my home because I'm a huge proponent for femininity. A huge proponent for being a feminine woman in the home because we can say that there's always exceptions. You know what I mean? There's always, okay, well, she might be more masculine in her home, but if you're having 100 women, there's not going to be 50 that want to be masculine. You know what I mean? So we have to be honest and truthful with what we actually desire. So yeah, yeah, I wouldn't have every picture being me as the focus, especially my baby is there, my husband. Oh, I mean, I guess it's basically her husband. You know what I mean? He's there. I would definitely want it to be about us because that would be the
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Since they're there. You know.
That's the thing, and see, I'm not gonna go in on how this is not her husband. I'm not doing that
Yeah.
today. I know me, I will go in, but I'm not going in today. I just want to talk about the
Uh,
photo and just talk about it like that.
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Now, like you said, like for me, I have kids, so I can't see every photo. It's just me in the front because it's like no, like these are
Right.
precious beings. Why are you behind me? Not that you like. I don't want to say like that. Like you could be behind me, but that's not the focus. So like I see a comment here from Beautifully Animated says, but who was the magazine wanting to promote?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know she dropped some songs. I know she just performed. We know that she's pregnant again, but are they, because that's the thing, this magazine Vogue is trying to promote something. Obviously, they're trying to promote femininity, right? They're trying to
Mm-hmm.
promote woman power or whatever, because that's what the photos look like.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he's in it, he's always behind her, or he's like a silhouette. It's not like he's
Mm-hmm.
ever a focus. And forget that
Mm-hmm.
it's ASAP Rocky. That's the baby father, right? That's someone
Mm-hmm.
who helped her get this child. So why is he so behind? So yeah, what are they trying to promote? Because she's already a known celebrity. Like she's a
Mm-hmm.
billionaire, and she ain't a billionaire from her music. She has the makeup, she has the lingerie and all this stuff. So Like, we already know who Rihanna is. It ain't like you got to make her a focus. So now
Mhm.
she's in a new space where she has a family now for the first time, and she's in her 30s. Okay, cool. So why can't that be the focus? Because we don't know
Mhm.
Rihanna like that. Like, when I seen that, I was like, yeah, that's her kid. Okay, you know. So
Right.
I think it's just weird to me. Like, they making that a focus, and they trying to push something that everybody else is seeing. She's a leader. So that's what it screams out. Now let me get into some of the comments here.
Mhm. Mhm.
What's up, Jones Boy 804? How you doing? Salute to the chat. Thank you so much. His show podcast says birth control is poison.
It is. It is. Oh yeah.
I mean, birth
It is.
control, I've had a fair share of it. Birth control, I mean, it's okay for what you're using it for, but to be on it so long, it does to
Yeah.
me deteriorate the body based on, I guess, depends on your body, but sometimes it deteriorates the body. I don't think it's like good to stay on it for a while.
Yeah.
Um, Beautiful family, people love to hate. Oh, so you think they hating on her photo? Okay. What's up,
Hmm.
Stefan? The world is going to hell.
What is this mean?
Stefan, why do you say the world is going to hell? Please tell me. Is it because people are not liking this photo, or you don't like the photo?
Hmm.
Let's see. Beautifully animated says hatred must be delicious. Hey, who knows? What up, melanated Lux girl? What's up? So yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, because if because I was wondering what I can't remember, beautifully animated, I believe that's what her name. Was she?
Yeah.
I was wondering what did she mean? Was the magazine trying to promote Rihanna, and is that why she's the focus? And then that would kind of be duh, like that type of thing. Like, okay, well, she's the focus. Um, but or is the magazine trying to have a hidden agenda? I didn't know what one which one she was trying to say, but I do think if the magazine, because I was thinking, as you said, Lady Di, that
Mhm.
the magazine was about her being a mother. So it
Yeah.
would have been even cool if we were to just like see them playing or whatever it was, her kissing her baby. I'm not sure if that was in there. I don't know. But I do understand if it was just her being the front center, like she's on stage and they were behind. I do understand why that would not necessarily convey the message that they were trying to. Um, but I don't know even necessarily if that was a problem. Because then we're kind of just trying to look for something that they're not even saying. And I mean it's kind of like sometimes we get so focused in others or like even celebrities that we are not focusing on what is actually important. Like it was one video I commented on and I said, I understand that these you see that she's the star, and this could have been her time to be like, I'm a family woman too, I'm a mother, I keep wanting to say wife because that's what it seems like, but I'm a girlfriend or whatever. But you know what I mean. So I understand that, but if this is her coming, I'm coming back to the scene. I'm coming back to the world. Check me out with my family. I mean, you could spin it so many different ways.
I
So
mean,
I
that
don't
last
know.
thing you said, the last thing you said about, hey, I'm coming back, look at my family. When I
Uh
seen
huh.
the picture, it was something in that regard, not like she taking over stuff and she leader.
Yeah.
Now, could that be her agenda? I can't say it's not. I just didn't see it when I seen that photo. But like someone
Mm.
said on my page, oh, not me, but anybody, oh, we feminists. I mean, are you a feminist? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask that. Do you consider yourself being a feminist?
No, not at all. Mm-mm. No, not at
Okay.
all. Yeah.
So according to
they
this
they when I oh yeah, I'm sorry. No, I was just like with the things that I post, the feminists get on me. They're just like, oh, well, you just want to be gum on your husband's shoe, huh? They're like that towards me. So yeah. So no, not a feminist at all.
It's always the weirdest thing. I'm like, if someone has a husband and has kids, I mean, that's all the life is based around. It's not like, oh, it's just you. That stuff went out the door a long time ago. And guess what? That's a
Hmm.
choice. No one has to
Hmm.
be married. No one has to have kids. It's a choice that you wanted
Right.
to do this. You got to remember from the day you said I do The day that you pushed at that child, that you are no longer the fronts of none of that. You have to consider everybody. You can't be selfish. People
Right.
are. You should not. I should say you should not be selfish to get the full benefit of family dynamic. And
Exactly.
what this photo is screaming is
Hmm.
that, I mean, is this a family dynamic? Do
Yeah.
we pose like that? Like, I could show some photos. Now I'm gonna show that a little later to, bring a point. But like if this is her first kid, you don't need to be the spotlight. Let's see this baby. Let's see, okay, cool. How old is he? Like, I don't even know how. I'm just saying we don't know information because she's just right there. I'm just going based off the picture, you know. Now, obviously, you
Yeah.
buy the magazine, you could read what the interview was about, right? I'm not buying that
Hmm.
magazine. I'm just saying, for the ones who want to buy the magazine, you can see obviously it's going to be promoting Rihanna. That's the whole point. She's Rihanna, reborn. See, Rihanna reborn. So we understand that, but all of her photos were like that. So yeah.
Hmm.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Melanated Lex says, I think the way Rocky was looking made the picture appear that way. Because he's not even looking at the camera. That's true. He's looking at the baby and she looking at the camera.
Because he's the
So
feminine. He's the feminine in the picture. She's the masculine. He's the feminine. So then it comes. It looks like, what are you doing? Like you're not leading your home and all that. That's why people. I get it, but we do have to understand this is a place that she is the star, and the star is that is gonna come off. That's what it's gonna be. And it's almost kind of like, okay, do we expect women to constantly be in their feminine space? Or do we understand that we move and we flow out of in feminine and out of masculine? You know what I mean? We're constantly moving in and out of those things. So
yeah.
it's just like, what is the expectation for a woman? And
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Is she should she only show her feminine side in public? Is that what's acceptable by society? Because at this point, we're in a gray area. I guess because we're trying to recalibrate. You know what I mean? We're like, okay, well, this isn't working. The fact that the woman is not happy in her feminine space and being a mother and being a wife. I see so many videos of that. I'm just not happy. I don't want to be a woman. I don't want to cook. I don't want to clean. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, but this is what you're created to do. So for us to just constantly be complaining, I know we're making jokes. Like I just made a video, like I know we're making jokes, but it's truth. You know what I mean? So for us to constantly be complaining about this and saying we don't want to be women, you have to think about where that's coming from. We've lost something. So we have to recalibrate and figure out, okay, yes, we do need to be more feminine. So then when anyone sees us in a masculine place like Rihanna, do we feel like, okay, this is why, when it kind of doesn't make sense in that space to me because she's the star. But it's a complete problem that we are masculine. We are way too masculine as women. That's why we don't want to do the women roles.
True.
I saw this picture, and there's this probably like the 50s or the 60s, and she's holding her baby. She has two kids behind her. One is like banging on his high chair. She's taking something out the oven. And all the women in the comments were like, this is why we don't want this life. And I'm
But
like,
see, my thing is, I'm glad you brought that point. So
mm-hmm,
if she ain't doing it, then they expect him to do it. Then it would be what on him then? Because now you don't.
everything,
Right.
everything.
You don't think a woman should do it, but a man should do it. So why don't you look at it negatively towards him? And like I said, if it's not him doing it, if it's not you doing it, then who's doing it? You hire a nanny to do it, then she will look bad too, right? Like who if you have kids, you're responsible to do these things. The reason why the picture was so profound like that is because when you have multiple kids, they come
Mm,
out of nowhere. You feel me? Like they just there. Why?
right.
Because babies, they are immature, they don't understand, so they're gonna
Right.
run from every which direction because that's just reality.
Mm-hmm,
So they try
mm-hmm,
to change a reality factor of how kids grow up, just like when we were babies. I don't know how many brothers and sisters you have, right? But in
mm-hmm,
general, one or seven, right? it doesn't matter. All kids are similar. They're gonna do things that we may not want them to do or we may not like. It's not gonna be in our favor. That's not when you have kids, it's always in your favor. It's peaches and cream. No. Just like marriage, right? They think, oh, well, marriage is supposed to be like this. No, it's not. When you have kids,
Yeah.
it ain't supposed to be like that either. Those kids are gonna get on your
Yeah.
damn nerves. Like, I'm gonna be real.
Right.
And that's just how it is.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that, oh, this is why I don't want to stay at home. This is why I want to go to
Mhm.
work. Well, why are you having kids? I don't understand it. And I'm not saying women have to always stay home, especially for a long period of time. I think you do what's best for you, but make sure that that child is at your best interest. Because once you
Mhm.
have so many people in the hands of your child, who is that person going to respect more? You or the person that's actually teaching them? Don't you
Mhm.
want respect from your own child? No one thinks of that though, you know?
Right. We just want the easy way out. It's like, how can I make this life easiest? But we're not understanding that's not where joy comes from. That's not where fulfillment comes from. It's just having an easy life. It's just not that. And don't get me wrong, like I cannot categorize myself as a traditional wife and mother. I'm completely opposite on lots of things. But when it comes down, and the reason why is because I do think that it varies when it comes to that, what that looks like for someone and for their marriage and for them being mothers. But I do believe that we are just lost and just running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to figure out. And that's why magazine covers like this trigger us, because we're like, okay, something's wrong, but I don't know what, and I don't know how to fix it. Well,
And
just
that's
listen.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say everybody that looked at that photo, that thought negatively is like their attention drama seeking. I don't want to say that because there's people
Yeah.
that
Right.
mentioned it and they're not drama seeking. It's just sometimes, like I might look at a photo of somebody else and be like, why would you do that? But I'm gonna move
Mhm.
on, you know what I'm saying? But I understand, the world is wrapped around these celebrities. I get it. Look at
Mhm.
Beyonce. Her tickets are like what, $6,000. I think the most expensive one, the cheapest, I believe, is like 1,500, and that's like in the bleachers. I'm
Wow.
hearing this. People are buying it. They're
Wow.
going overseas to see her. Cool. That's why she makes so much money because people like us we're going to support. And you have every right to do what you want to do. Cool, but don't
Yeah.
forget
Yeah.
your family, right? And the things that are important because she has her family,
Right.
and that's why this photo I can see why people are saying is screaming that. Now, my question to you
Mm.
is, since he's the one holding the baby, he's the one kissing the baby, and she's like, "Come follow me," type thing. Do you
Uh-huh.
think that do you think that he is like a stay-at-home dad type of thing? Or
Probably. I mean, why wouldn't he be? She makes all the money. I don't see ASAP Rocky doesn't look like a real like raw masculine. I'm gonna go and get the bread. He doesn't come off that way. He's very like creative. Like, for example, to me, like what he had on, I'm like, Prince. You got to think about the artist. He's an artist. So
yeah.
yeah, he's gonna have and creativity, artistry. That's all feminine. So he's gonna come off like that, and he probably is a stay-at-home dad. Um,
But do
because
you
that's
think
their dynamic. Okay.
But do you think being a stay-at-home dad is good? Like, men should consider doing that since women can make money now, right? And we could make a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money, right? So
Right.
she's a billionaire. He's a
Uh,
millionaire. There's no
uh,
comparison. Now they both have money, but it's still no comparison. So because
right.
she is making so much money, is it okay for him to be a stay-at-home dad? Do you think?
I think if he chooses to be, yes. Do I think most men are going to want to be stay-at-home dads? Absolutely not. And should most men want to be stay-at-home dads? Absolutely not. It's just not what it is. You know what I mean? It's just not.
Like,
It's just not it. Yeah.
nurturing wise, right? I'm just looking at the nurturing factor. You
Mhm,
staying at
mhm.
home and you're gonna be rough as hell with these kids. If you have all girls, they're
Right.
gonna be all goddamn tomboys, and some of them can't shake it off when they get older.
Right.
So it is, I mean, just for especially like the first 5 years. Everything after that to me is like you got to change up. You can't, I mean, for me, I can't just be
Mhm.
super like, oh, come give me a hug. It's okay. Like, we gotta
Mhm.
grow you up. We gotta get you
Right.
responsible. We gotta get you tough in a
Mhm.
way, mentally, physically, because that world is not nice, especially now it's
Yeah.
getting worse. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a stay-at-home dad, I don't want to say loses respect, but somebody will call him a simp, right? A
Yeah.
stay-at-home father.
Mhm. Yeah, of course. I mean, because it's kind of what it is. I mean, you have to take the good, the bad with the good. You know what I mean? I mean, so yeah, him being a stay-at-home dad would probably come off as a simp, and he would probably be simping in some ways. You know what I mean? I mean, it just kind of is what it is, but it doesn't necessarily make it like he shouldn't. Because maybe that's why she married him. Because some women are like, there are exceptions. It's just not the majority of us, and that's
Right,
the
it's not the
problem.
majority. And guess
Hmm.
what? I would look at it like, is if she ain't gonna do it, somebody needs to do it. So if he gonna be
Right.
the one that's gonna do it, because so the kids won't get neglected, by all means, praise you for that. Because she,
Right.
some they want to be dominant, masculine. I want to go out there and get the bread or whatever. All right, cool. Well,
Mhm.
you have a father who was nurturing that you don't have, and that's
Mhm.
okay.
Right.
But like you said, majority of people, no, I don't think majority of men is just like, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay at home. It has to be like a serious circumstance to me why someone wants to stay at home with their kids. And I mean, on a full-time basis. Now today,
Mhm.
a lot of us are working from home because that's what the pandemic has brought to us is different. So a lot of people are
Mhm.
home now, right?
Right.
So now you could just change it up. You don't have to do like the same routines anymore. Now people could raise their families together, which I think is very cool. That's the only good thing I think that came good from the pandemic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
besides, but let me see. What's up, Truth Over Emotions? Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're still in here. I took a while to say hi. Says this is promoting bad behavior. Okay, so
Oh,
you
the
don't like
cover.
it. Okay. And it's basically, she's saying she run everything. And you stay behind me, you and the baby. Like, goddamn. Beautifully animated says, for the women who don't want to do women's work, do it and don't judge women who are doing the work.
Mhm.
Do you live your life and be happy?
That's it.
Okay.
It's simple as that. Yeah.
What's up,
Yeah.
Just Rose? Thanks for being here. You caught alive. Thank you. You caught me this time. Jones Boy 804 says Rihanna would be an example
Yeah.
of an exception to the rule. TB, yeah.
Exactly.
Stefan says, under no circumstances, I will not be a stay-at-home.
My husband's the same. My husband's the same way.
Your husband the same?
Yes, he would be like, no.
So are you a
Ooh,
stay-at-home mom?
I am.
Heck,
I am. I
okay.
am.
Now, have you always been a stay-at-home mom?
No, I used to work. I was a teacher before, and we moved some things around so I could and we added some things so I could stay at home. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So when did
yeah.
you make that transition? At what child?
About
That's 7. So what
3,
child?
right, at
Okay.
child 3. When he
Okay.
was a baby, so he's 6 now. So I've been here for 6 years. Yeah,
Wow. Look,
yeah,
I've been a
yeah.
stay-at-home mom for 6 years. Look, I know exactly what you're going through right now.
Wow. Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. It's bananas,
Yes.
but I don't know, it's cool. I got to know them on a deeper level. I don't think I would
Yeah.
have known them if I wasn't with them every day. And
Right, right.
sometimes kids need it. Every kid is not going to be the same. Every kid
Mhm,
has different needs, and every kid that
mhm,
has those needs needs to be addressed early. Once you
mhm.
send them to school, them teachers don't care. They're not going to
Right.
say, oh, well, your child, or they may not understand what your child even has, but they
Mhm.
quick to say, oh, ADHD, right?
Right.
And then they're quick to
Mhm,
say, here, give them this medicine. Or
mhm.
instead of giving other alternatives, which people
Right.
don't speak about, I don't want to make this session about all this
No,
therapy,
I'm
but
mhm.
there are certain aspects where you could take your child to a certain type of therapist. And I'm not talking about a psychiatrist where you're talking,
Mhm.
there's other therapists that you could get to see, let's say your child is not, that's not behaving, right? Okay,
Mhm.
there are so many different professionals that could figure out, oh, this is why he's not behaving. He doesn't have this type
Mhm.
of skill. I could teach him this skill and he's going to be good to go. They don't do
Right.
that type of stuff in school. It's just, oh, ADHD, that's it. Every kid
Mhm.
don't have ADHD. Every kid does not
Right.
have serious illness. They don't have autism. Every kid is not that way, but they want to make it seem like it's that way and push all of these other things so our kids can't progress. So
Mhm.
me being a stay-at-home mom, I learned that. Now, did I have the same thing for me? My mom wasn't a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have that. So I
Yeah.
learned, okay, this is how it was for me and when my childhood. And okay, let me see the difference. So that's the difference
Yeah.
I noticed. I wouldn't know my
Mhm.
kids if I didn't stay with them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. It's a level, and just the it's like somebody to me, since I have lived both lives, working while having 3 kids, and now I'm not working while having the rest of my kids, and it just seems like it's better, even though it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to stay home. When people say, I mean, maybe it was my experience, but I swear it was easier when I was working because someone wasn't here all the time making a mess, doing all. It wasn't as much to do, but I have more kids now. But anyways, but it's easier for someone to be at home and then someone to be at work. It makes it kind of like a more of a clear. These are my responsibilities. These are yours. It just makes it easier to me. So, but yeah, there's so many benefits. So many benefits. I'm a proponent.
Now, when some people
So yeah.
say, "Oh, stay-at-home moms don't do shit. It's not a lot of work. They just watch TV all day," and I'm like, "Where? What
I wish.
are you living with false reality?" Because I don't know what you watching, what movie you seen, but this shit is 24/7. It doesn't
Yes.
stop. Look, it stopped for me
Doesn't it?
right now. I'm on this live. My husband
Right.
takes care of the kids, right? Because he's here. He don't work at night. He home right now.
Right.
I make
Right.
that. But on a regular day, he ain't here. And who the hell is somebody gotta pee? And it sounds like it's small because we're talking about small things, right? But they're little people that don't know nothing, right? And
Right.
we're trying
They
to
can't
teach
do nothing.
common sense, right? You can't teach common sense, but you try to, if they don't have it, if they do have it, you try to make sure they keep it up. You try to teach them
Mhm.
responsibilities, but that's per kid. So maybe if it's like one child, it'll be different. And I'm not saying one
Mhm.
child is not a lot. I believe that it is, but
Mhm.
imagine that times a certain number. Now, I mean,
Mhm.
really just running a whole army, right?
It's right. Right. With
So
so many different personalities, so many things can happen. I mean, just yeah. Yeah. It's a lot going on.
yes, it is. Thank you
Yes,
so much,
yes.
Just Rules. You are super
Oh,
supportive. Thanks so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. He always comes through with that. So nice. Even if he's not on the live, he still be sending, and I really appreciate that. Look, I would never forget.
that's so
Um,
sweet.
let's see. Beautiful, beautifully animated says I went from tomboy to girly tomboy, a girly tomboy. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
I love that. I was a
But
little bit a tomboy in the 90s. In the 90s when I was a kid, we were all tomboys. Oh, we were all wearing baggy pants and nothing else.
that's true.
That's
That is
funny. That's
true.
funny.
Just Rules says, not me for settling as a stay-at-home dad. My lineage
Right.
follow tradition of men providing. Can't even fathom not being a sole provider for my family.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
is it masculine?
I
Like,
would
I
have
don't
a side eye. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I would honestly, I would give a side eye to a man that's just like, yeah, I want to stay at home. It's like, okay, why?
Why,
Why
sir?
you wanna stay at home?
Where
Right.
the
It doesn't. I mean, like I said, it's not the majority.
Unless you're doing it
But
together, like just okay. Let's put it like this. Let's say does your husband go out to work, or does he have a business from home or something?
he goes out. Yeah, he
Okay,
goes out to
so
work.
let's say he didn't go out. He is home
Yeah,
with you. You and him are running a business, right?
right.
Would you
That's
consider him
completely different.
being a stay-at-home dad now because he's literally at home, literally doing the things that you're doing right now? It's just that it's split in half.
Mm-mm.
No,
Not at
right?
all.
Okay. So
Right.
I guess it's very different. I'm just trying to think of the difference. A stay-at-home dad is literally someone who the other person works and they're just home. So just the complete opposite. Yeah, I don't see a
Right.
dude just randomly doing that. Um, all right. Jones Boy 804 says, how do y'all feel about homeschooling? Do y'all feel like that'll be more of an overload from a housewife perspective?
Yeah. It's
Do
so
you,
funny you would say that because I'm going to start homeschooling next year because I'm over school. The whole system. I'm done with it. So I don't feel like it's now I did used to feel like it was an overload. Honestly, I did. Because I'm like, because my husband, he was like, the kids need to be homeschooled. This matches our whole who we are. And I'm like, no, because I have plenty of other things to do. I would not have the burden of homeschooling them, but I do feel like, no, let's go ahead and do this thing. And we're here in Texas. We're you're in the East Coast, right? Yes, because it was
yeah.
Eastern time. Yeah, yeah. So we're here in Texas and it's super easy to do it. So I'm just like, let's do it. Let's go for it. So it's just
Well,
about perspective.
I have some information for the homeschooling. I did homeschool and I was homeschooled. So
Oh.
not the whole time. I was homeschooled 3 years. I never went to ninth grade like a high school. I did ninth grade virtually back in the
Mhm.
day. I started high school at 10th grade in
Oh.
school. So like quickly with the homeschool, I'm glad you asked that question. That was a great question. So like I agree with you with okay, the kids are out of the house, they're in school. I get to focus on making sure this house is clean, having dinner, whatever, breakfast, lunch, dinner, things for yourself. You get to do those errands. It's because that's what you're gonna have to do if they was home. So to think about, well, how the hell am I gonna do it? And they in the house, especially you got seven. So it's like, so if I need to go grocery shopping, y'all all coming with me? Like,
Right.
so it's it's gonna be a big change. But as far as the homeschooling part, if it makes sense for your household, because everybody is not all into that. They think, let the teachers do it and I help them with homework. But I like homeschool because you can for sure advance your children to a level that the school can never do. Unless you're paying top dollar for like, a very good private school where they're gonna teach your kids algebra in first grade,
Right.
right? But I
Right.
mean, who the hell is paying 20,000 a month? Because that's like not 20,000 a month. It's like 5,000 a month, right?
Mm,
In
mm,
certain spaces where I'm from, where I live, it's expensive here. But homeschool, like I give you a site. It's called Acellus Homeschool, Power Homeschool.
mm,
You pay
mm.
$25 a month for each kid. And when I was on the Facebook group, they were saying that, oh, my kid finished third, fourth, and fifth in 1 year. And I was like,
Wow.
I know homeschool could do this. I just never seen it like that fast. And I was just like
Yeah.
scrolling, right? Okay. So a lot of people were saying these things. And I was like, okay, and it's cheap. Because I tried paying for it. It was like $1,500 for the year. You pay for it, they send you the books and everything. But that one, you hands on. I don't me all day, I don't have hands-on time, right? Because I got other
Mhm.
things like you said to do. So I
Yeah.
chose to pick, they're not homeschooled right now. I had stopped it a couple months ago, but I chose at the time a couple months ago to pick a program where the site teaches them, and what happens is it's super repetitive. So if they get a question wrong, they're gonna keep repeating the question in a different way, and if they can't answer it, they're gonna give you like 5 different ways to do it. You got like 3 different
Mm.
teachers. So I was like, ooh, okay, cool. You don't have just me, you got 3 different teachers. So, and they all teach it a different way. And when I looked at it, I was like, this is brilliant. So, stuff like that, I'm gonna send you the link. And whoever
Yeah.
wants the link, let me know. I'll send you the link for anyone that is interested in homeschool. but it was like so amazing to me, and it was so cheap, and I was like, yeah, this is it. So it's something you could probably consider, so you could still, they could still learn very advanced things, but you could still do the things you need to do. So I'm gonna take.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Beautifully Animated says, I study best when I play music, some classical, flute, nature, water. Just find the right music for you, because the music I just listed put you to sleep. It do though.
Right.
Funny.
That's funny.
Uh, what's up, Miss Faye? Hey, girl. She says,
Yes.
I'm a stay-at-home mom that plans to homeschool. Just grateful we can do it. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
amazing. What's up, Snuggles? I haven't seen you in a while. What is the what is the purpose of masculinity?
In a woman? Is that I'm guessing that's what it'll be. In a woman.
I think and listen, I don't even so for a man to be masculine as you know, as a man should be, just like a woman should be feminine as she should be, even though in this
Yeah.
society women don't want to be feminine at all. And I wanted to ask you, Peacock, what you want me to call you? Peacock Mama? I know that's your name on social media. Is
Yeah,
that what you want?
you can.
Okay.
Yeah. We can just go with it.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, y'all can find her. I did put her into the description. You guys can find her literally at Peacock Mama on, I think, on most platforms, right?
Peacock Mama TV. Yeah.
Yep,
On
TV, yep,
everywhere. Yeah.
everywhere. So now, what does femininity mean to you? Because I know you, there was a video I seen where you said femininity changed my life. So
Yeah.
can you explain a little bit what that looked like? How did it change your life?
Well, well,
Or just
that was
tell me what it means
yeah.
to you exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because I guess I would have to describe a little bit of both, because femininity would be just the counterpart to masculinity. And I don't, it's not necessarily just femininity is a woman, and it's something a woman should have, and masculinity is something a man should have. Do we dominantly express it? Yes. And that's what I meant in that video. Like, when I started to truly dive into me dominantly expressing it, that's what changed my life. Now, right now, we are both talking, we're having a discussion. This is masculine, so that's the point of them saying this is a masculine. What is the point of masculinity? I'm guessing that's what it was. Like, why would a woman have it? But we moving back and forth between the two. And so yeah, femininity changed my life, because honestly, my husband and I were having some type of conversation. I can't even remember why, but what he said, it translated to me, that he was like, I need you to be in your feminine space. He didn't say these words, but it just, that's how I figured it out. He's like, I need you to be in your feminine space, because this is how I will thrive in my masculine space in our marriage, and this is how we're gonna change the world. So let's go. So when I basically just when I basically was just like, okay, what do I need to change? I need to stop having an attitude when I'm cleaning. You know what I mean? Like, I need to have I need to have more joy. I need to have more peace. I need to live in a moment. And that's all being my feminine space. I need to, like, when my husband comes home from work, I want to greet him at the door. I want to make sure he has all the things that makes him comfortable. Yeah, I've been running around all day. Yeah, I've been making sure my kids are good. Yeah, but I want to make sure he is too. You know what I mean? So that whole, I'm doing this unapologetically. I'm diving in this unselfishly, opened up a whole new world for me, because then I no longer was upset. No, then I was no longer um constantly in this space of, why do I have to do all of this? You know what I mean? So that's how it changed my life. Way more peaceful. Way more peaceful. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm gonna hit on two things. The last thing you said was like kind of like why, like, so how I look at it as women don't think they need to be feminine at all. They're like, why? I just go to work, I get somebody else to do it. But like you said earlier, if there is a difference between a male and a female, why is
Mhm.
there a difference? Because if we were born to do the same things, then what's the point of all of this marriage and kid stuff anyway, right? So there's a
Right.
reason for the difference. So as men, I think some of them do know their position, and not all men, but some men do know, like how your man knows. He was like, yeah, you need to be in your feminine space. But women, we have to believe the same thing and understand that what we bring to the table is very important. Just think of like, not you, but women that are having a hard time. If you have a child, I'm sorry, if you were younger and you didn't have that mother figure, a nurturing figure, not all of us had that. But if
Yeah.
you are a person who didn't have it, did you feel okay with it? Were you like, okay, this is cold. My mom don't say I love you. She's not around like that. Did you like that space? And if you liked it, then I mean, that's a little toxic, right? Because you're used to it. But is it right? Or would you prefer someone to say I love you and hug you and be nurturing? Because kids do come out a lot differently if you have that mother, around doing those things. So you always, to me, it's like you ask yourself, how would you like it? If my mother was never around, she's always working. Who am I going to talk to when things are happening? I got bullied at school, but she's at work. Who am I going to ask? I'm going to ask a friend and they're going to give me bad advice. So I don't
Yeah.
think we as people look at, well, if it was me, would I like it? The same things you do to your children, you have to be like, oh, nah, I got to stop doing this. Let me do something else because I wouldn't like it if it was me. You should feel sad. So as women, if you are able to be feminine and be feminine mother, because you could be a mother, but it don't mean you're a feminine mother. It don't mean you nurturing
Mhm.
mother. You just a
Right.
mother. But you have to add those pieces to it, right? So you have to like ask yourself, well, am I giving my child the best life right now? And best
Mhm.
is simple. It don't cost money to be feminine and nurturing to your child. It's just you and your mind. So I think like we just have to think that it's important because our kids are important. Our husband is important. Whoever you want to
Mhm.
marry is going to be important. And
Mhm.
that's what's lost. I don't, like you said, it's not there. But why? Why do you think women today are lost in that space?
I think we've been taught it. I was on the phone with the older lady the other day, and she said something like, it was so crazy. And she said, "Well, my mom, I never had kids because my mom told me I had all the time in the world." She said, "Go get your career, go get your education, and do and live your life." And I think, well, I don't know when it started to break down, but it seemed like our grandmothers, around those that were born in like the 40s, it seemed like they weren't really happy or
Mm,
whatever happened. It was a breakdown between the great grandmothers, the great grandmothers, and now it's just trickled down to us, and we've just constantly gotten worse in this
yeah,
space of me, me,
yeah,
me, me, me. When the
yeah,
woman is the most sacrificial, I mean, like sacrificial. I shouldn't say it like that because I don't want it to come off as if we're just dying. You know what I mean? But it's so much joy in that, and being that space where I'm the source of love and it's just flowing from me constantly. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just such reward. And
yeah.
we're missing the fact that there's reward that comes with that. You know what I mean?
True. And
Yeah.
that's such a big point. Think of like when your kids get older. You ever seen kids don't like their mom like that? Like and they be disrespecting the mother or whatever the case is. It's not a good relationship. And you
Hmm.
wonder why it's like that. It don't have to be because she is in poverty and she was on crack and all. It don't gotta be that extreme. There are people not
Right.
liking their brothers and they regular ass women. They go to work, have, regular people. They do
Right.
the same thing we all of us normally do. There's no
Mhm.
crazy dysfunctional going on. And they don't like their mom. Why? Because you're not nurturing. You gotta be that space. How I look at it is when I get older, and I'm talking about like 55, I want my kids to look at me how they look at me now in a just mature way, right? Look how they look at me
Mhm.
now. They honor, respect me. They love me. They'll do anything for me. If I don't have kids like that, I feel like I did something wrong because I ain't pushed y'all out for no goddamn reason. You understand? I want the same respect back. So no one looks at the end part. They're like, oh, I'm just gonna
Mhm.
do this. Oh, my kids, they ain't gonna know. I know. I remember stuff when I was 3. Not everybody has
Right.
that memory, but this some of us that have it. I remember stuff when I was
Mhm.
5. I remember stuff when I was 8. I remember when you did this. Kids remember stuff, so don't act
Right.
like, oh, yeah, okay. They're gonna hold it over your head later, you know?
Right. Right. So true. So true. I mean, we just forget that there's time after us being in our 20s, 30s, 40s. You know what I mean? We still have life to live and we want to reap the reward from what we've been sowing. All the seeds that we planted. I mean, I don't know. We're just in this selfish world. Everyone is so selfish. It's just always, even with our kids, it's like you have to think about when you have kids, why do you have kids? What's the purpose?
Yes.
Was it for you? Well, then that's why you're in this space of, well, this isn't working out for me. Well, of course, because you had it for the wrong reason. There's no point of having a kid for you because you're taking care of them for a long time. You do. So,
I mean, up until they're able to financially do for themselves, that's how long you're gonna
mhm,
take care of it. Everybody's not gonna get it at that 18. They always like to kick kids out of 18. Everybody's
right,
not gonna get out of 18. You're gonna have
right,
some kids that might take to 21, 25. There should be a
mhm,
cap, unless
right,
that child, we just need that extra time, right?
right,
But 25, all right, let's go. What we doing, so
right,
you're gonna
right.
do that person's financial stability until they're able to be stable, and that's only right. Now
Mhm.
there's some parents that's like, you figure it out, because that's what happened to me. Parents love to push that out there, and that's, if that's what you feel is going to teach them and be responsible, cool, do what you do. But
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of us have support like that. So if we could be the only supporters, let's be that for our family. So
yeah.
let me get to some of the comments.
Okay.
Jones Boy says, appreciate y'all and loved to the chat, chiming in with y'all perspective also. You're welcome. Beautifully Animated says, ooh, that program sounds awesome. It is. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. uh, Just Ruth says, feminine Black women can surely be seen in BW films of 50s. I found myself indulging in them. Women in those days were so beautiful, classy, and delicate and dainty. Dainty is the word. See, we need to bring dainty back. Ain't
Right,
nobody
right,
doing that no more. Ain't nobody dainty. Um, I think a lot
Woo.
of women have a problem with labels. This woman is work as opposed to just doing the work. Oh, yes, bars, girl. I had a problem with the label when I was younger, but didn't have a problem doing the work. Well, at
Yeah,
least you're doing the work, because that's
yeah.
the
I
hard.
mean, yeah.
She also says, when I was in a relationship, I love to take care of my man. I love taking care of my kid. I do it because I want to do it, and that makes me happy. It's supposed
I
to.
love that. Right.
It's
Yeah,
supposed
that's the
to. You have,
point. Yeah.
like, to see smiles on their faces makes me smile even harder, because I'm like, okay, I did something right. I'm gonna do it again
Mhm.
because I want it
Right,
back.
right. Yeah,
Let
when
me.
they eat my food, I'm just looking at them like, do you love it? And my kids, they like rate my food. They're like, okay, I think this is 100 out of 100, mommy. And I'm like, it is. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me share some old photos since we're talking about old photos. So, all right, this is really old. This is in the 1920s. Now we see that this man is sitting down. He has 3 kids and his wife. So when you look at this photo, being that it's in 1920s, what screams out to you, positive or negative? What are your thoughts?
Oh, completely positive. Completely positive. Yeah, they're just. I mean, yeah, they're family. It's legacy. I wish I
Yeah,
had pictures of this of my family. My great grandparents, and I love it.
yeah, yeah. So we see that now. That's how it was. So I'm gonna get to, let's see. When did it start changing a little bit? All right. So this is the 1970s.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I still see family going on. So that's what's up. This is a very basic photo, but it still looks like they have respect for each other, even though it's just a photo. We don't know what's going on behind them closed doors, but just from the photo, they seem to
Right.
have respect for each other and the little baby. So that's what's up. Now let's see. And this is what I'm showing is I want to show positivity. I want to show why when we look at Rihanna's photo, why some people are like, no, that's a bad example because are they looking like this in their photo? All right, I'm gonna fast forward to, let me see now. She's a content creator and she promotes family. She just had a baby, and look, to me, this seems very positive. But Rihanna didn't do nothing like that. So when you
Yeah.
look at this photo, who you think the leader is looking at this?
Sure, I don't even know. I mean, yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
man,
know.
I don't even look at it like that,
Just from
but
the picture. Just from the
just from the
picture.
right.
I mean, it could totally be him. Yeah. It could, yeah, because he's standing up, he's standing strong, you
Yes.
know. Yeah.
He's standing strong.
It
He
does
got
do
his
that.
hand on his wife, like, I'm gonna protect you and these kids.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So, but it's still showing family dynamic. So
Mm.
that's what's up. And then we go straight to Rihanna, and she's like, yeah, nah. It's a big difference. Did y'all see
Yeah.
that? It's a big difference.
Yeah.
And guess what? Rihanna is not the only one that takes photos like this. And meaning she's the primary focus on all of them. Even if it was her birthday, let her and her birthday just be you then. Because it's like, why you got the baby in here? If he's in the back, I want to see how cute he is. He all the way back there. I don't even know what ASAP Rocky looked like right now. It's just weird.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I do get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
the difference is just a difference.
Yeah.
Um, so now
I
you
think I wonder if oh my bad. I just wonder if being in that space for so long, being Rihanna for so long, does kind of take her out of a sense of reality. Of like how what would a family picture look like? You know, I don't know if she would even be as in tune with what that would even feel like because she's just been Rihanna for so long.
true.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's true. That's a good
Yeah,
point. And
yeah,
I think that's a big factor. The only thing is ASAP Rocky hasn't been ASAP Rocky as long as Rihanna been Rihanna. So he should
right.
know a difference. I'm just saying he should know. And he had his time of, making his money. He's a millionaire. But
Mhm.
as a man, and this is where I think some men don't have it, you have to be there and let some women, not all women need this, let some women know, hey, it's okay to backtrack just a little bit. Let us together represent each other, type of thing. Like kind of dismiss her own things that she got going on. Because like you said, she's been Rihanna, I think since what, 14 or 15 she signed a deal. So
Yeah.
I get that. But if you're gonna have this family, this is what we're gonna do. Say stuff, encourage, show examples. Like it's okay. You're not gonna be, behind the scenes because you still gonna be Rihanna, but you're gonna be
Mhm.
a mother Rihanna. And if they got married, you're gonna be wife Rihanna. They ain't nobody taking your business away from you. You probably get more customers to come to you because you're showing, oh, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. If she ever becomes a wife, and
Yeah.
if she's a business woman, you should know that. You want all audiences, right? Because
Yeah.
all mommy consumers are not gonna sit here and buy Rihanna because it's not given to them and their, think of it like a real mommy consumer. They think about buying stuff for their kids all
Right.
the time. you
Right.
know?
Right.
So it's kind of like you want to make sure that you could reach them and be like, okay, I want these mommy consumers to buy my Fenty outfits for, I don't know, a walk in the park with my kids or whatever. I'm just saying. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think the family dynamic definitely needs to be in place. But I wanted to ask a question. You mentioned your husband talking about femininity. So, what does femininity look like to him? Like as a woman, like
Oh,
expect
yeah.
you to be like.
he's extremely traditional. He's extremely traditional. So, and not even in the sense of like in a weird type of I don't know, like a dominating way, but just he is just he's very traditional. So when it comes to femininity, yeah, he's expecting, like, for example, when we were dating, he was like, "Well, you cook every day," and then he was like, "I said, yeah, I mean, that's fine, I cook," you know. But he was asking that specifically to see what I sacrifice for the family in the way that he needs me to, because he's gonna sacrifice in the way that the way he was going to, and it was
Hmm.
very like very clear roles. Like my husband does not cook, he does not clean. We're very like
Traditional,
traditional in that
traditional.
sense. Yes, yes. So, and it doesn't have to be like I'm not a standard or anything. We just are who we are. It doesn't have to be that, like that. But yeah, he's very traditional, very much like, you know, when I say I will have the last say, I will definitely consult you. Like we talk about things. We're best friends. We're always talking and stuff. So it's not about him not consulting me, but he is like, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is what we're doing. So he's very much like, this is feminine, this is masculine. So yeah, yeah,
And how do you like that? I just have to ask. What's up,
yeah.
girl? What's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. So, um, now I'm asking this because we are women who grew up in this society. So, was it
Right,
easy for you to like accept and then transition? Unless you were already like this, was it easy for you to accept and transition into it? Okay. So
right.
how was the like real stuff? How was the transparent? Did you like, oh, I'm not doing that. I don't know what he's talking about. Or you know what? If I want this man, I'm gonna do it. Like, how was
Right.
your mind? Like,
Well, see, when we were first married, we were so like, we were 20. I was barely 24. And so he was still like that, right? So he's like, it was one instance, and he was like, "You are disrespectful, and I will not have it." So when he's very like this, so I'm like, okay, what do you mean I'm disrespectful? So I will research because I do cherish him, you know, and so I always have, and I will if he's really needs something. If he's like, no, this is what I need, and I know it's coming from love because I chose him because he's a man of honor and love and respect. You know what I mean? I didn't
right,
choose him just to choose him. I chose him very specifically because I knew that was his heart, his core. So
right.
I don't mind doing what he needs me to do. It's hard, yes. I definitely wasn't like, I don't understand why I have to do all of this. I understand, and that's why I can kind of critique or encourage also women who do feel like I'm doing too much, because I've been there. But there's a way that you don't have to feel that way, because when I did feel that way, I was doing way less than I do now. I do so much more now. And I still don't have I'm still not in a place of why? Why? Because it was this video. I don't know if you've seen it, but she was like, "Treat me, God. Next time in the next life, you need to make me a tree." Did you see that? Have you ever seen that? It was going viral on TikTok. But shit. I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, how can we, do what we do and be happy?
And
Okay, let me go.
the thing is, so much with that, like we of course we wouldn't know or understand because who is teaching us this unless you grew up in that traditional house where you see the mother, the father, and do as not do as I say, like to your wife, but you expect him as a leader in that way and you follow the lead, and you could have, oh yeah, I suggest we should, it's not a problem with that. But to transition into it is hard. I
Right.
had my transition in a relationship, not in my marriage. And
Okay.
I'm glad I was in the relationship because I was leaving. I was like, what you talking about? I don't need to be doing
Yeah.
all of that. And I left
Right.
him. But when we got married, I wasn't like that no more. I never thought about, I was like, damn, I was crazy. Why did I think like that? Because I'm like, I'm a woman. So what else am I supposed to be thinking like? Why am I trying to think and act like you? Or I'm not trying to be you, but I'm thinking like that way, and I see that's why it's causing arguments. Like, okay, this is one reason why it's causing it. So I accepted reality. I felt like, okay, well, how I wasn't how I should be. Like, that's not me as a woman. This is what a woman looks like. This is what a feminine woman looks like. So just noticing, okay, this was me, this is now me. Look at the women who were like you now, right? So you're like,
Mhm.
damn, I see myself in some of these ladies. I wish they would
Mhm.
understand what I see, because
Right.
you would feel so much happier over here. Like on this side of town, it's like it's different. It takes a minute,
Right.
but I feel like we all can change. It's not bad. Like, oh, you're a bad person because you're masculine. No, you're not a bad person. It's just,
Mhm.
hey, you acting like something that you're not. Let's take it on this side of town, and let's, wind you up in a space where you're like, okay, yeah, this is right. So that's how I look at
Mhm.
it. But it's cool that you had a husband that was able to teach you that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just easier to flow in the femininity. To be honest, it's harder to push the masculine out. We like pushing, fighting because we think that's what protects us. But
Hmm.
no, it's what's harming us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful that I did have he was willing to be a teacher, and to guide me down that path of really freedom, you know, where I was
Yeah.
not. Mhm.
See, this getting deep. They're like, freedom. How you free? It's hard to understand. I'm speaking for some audience, some of the audience that may think this way. Like, I don't get that, but it is freedom. Just imagine a dog being in a cat's body. They doing what they can do in that space, but then they do feel restricted. They do see things ain't working out all the way. Oh, well, this okay, well, but then when you take that off and you go into your space, your body that you're supposed to be a dog. Cool.
Right,
Be a dog, bark like one. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be looked at. You ain't who you supposed to be. Remember that.
right.
You are a female for a reason. Let's respect ourselves and be that type of female. So I love talking about this type of stuff because it needs to be spoken about, and just to, not just me, you have it. I seen your page, you try to show, okay, this is what it is. I see you be trying to cook and make all these, different type of things. I'm like, okay, cool, I see you, girl. So it's it's hard though with all those kids. You got 7, I got 4. I'm trying to see if I had 3 more, how would it be? Because
Yeah, yeah. Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely fun. It's definitely fun. But when I have my most challenges is when, I get consumed within myself. But when I just take it 1 second at a time, then it makes it easier. Instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for 5 hours. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, no, I'm here. And so that's what makes it, beautiful. But yeah.
so when you say
Yeah, it's
in your own self, what does that mean exactly? I'm asking for myself. See, I come on here, I'll be trying to
yeah.
teach, but I'm really asking, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about what I'm doing and how I want to do something else. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
oh, I have to, like, for example, I wanted to watch a show last night or the other night, but I had to wash these dishes because one of my 3-year-old, he keeps breaking our dishwasher, so it's broken now. So I had
Mhm.
to wash these dishes, and I could have been like, oh my gosh, I have to wash these dishes. Oh, I have to wash these dishes, whatever. Why did he break the dishwasher when it's a few dishes. You know what I mean? A few minutes, then you can go watch the show. You know what I mean? Like just taking it, getting out of myself and just being in the moment. So yeah.
And then not only that, I'm glad you broke that down, because there's moments like that for me, but there's times where I can't even watch the damn show. And I'm like, see, but I had to learn, like, it's not a big deal. Guess what? I could watch the replay. Like, that's why they have, you could record it, or it's already recorded. You got on demand. And I'm like, it'll be good that I could just binge watch this thing next week. And then I figure
Right.
out, okay, well, this is actually better. No, I'm not going to be able to watch it right now because these things are important. That show is not important. Once we realize what's important, I think it helped me realize, okay, well, me having these thoughts are not, it doesn't make sense. Because I'm gonna be mad in the morning when these dishes are not done because I gotta cook breakfast. So it's kind of
Right.
like, yo, the routine makes sense. This show don't. I'm sorry. I want to watch you. I want to support you, but this ain't gonna happen today, you know? And that's what helped me. Like, all right, cool. It's not a big deal. My family does come first, and there's nothing wrong with that. It shouldn't be. I don't think it's bad. Like some people think that women lose themselves, and I've seen women are losing themselves, but I don't think like having a husband and children, you are going to lose yourself. You just have to have balance. So, do you think that you have, even though you do have, I keep saying this because 7 kids is a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
I have,
no.
I have a friend that has 9 kids. Matter of fact, yeah, she has 9 kids. So I could see the similarity, but do you feel you have a space where you have balance with your marriage, your kids, yourself, and family, like, mom, dad, or whatever?
Yeah, I do. I do. I take care of myself. I get up early just to do my hair and my makeup. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Or I'll multitask. I'll make sure no, I'm going to paint my toes. You know what I mean? Because I'm very much about upkeeping myself. If I'm not doing so, then I feel sad. So yeah, I take baths, all that good stuff. I will straight up take a bubble bath when I feel like it. When I've cooked breakfast and everybody's chilling, you know what I mean? I'll make time for myself, and I always make time for my husband, and because it's important. We are. I mean, this is like their kids will be here for a few more years, but then it'll just be us again. You know what I mean? So all of that's just important. So yeah, I definitely make balance. I make a point to stay balanced because when we're unbalanced, that's when we're sad. You know. So
And that's true. Now, I like that you're showing like, hey, oh, I take my bubble baths. You feel me? Look, I
mhm.
haven't taken a bubble bath. So I'm not even in that space. But can you help the viewers, even myself? How in the world are you taking bubble baths? And I'm saying it this way because some women feel like, oh, they're gonna feel neglected, or I'm wrong for taking a bubble bath. I can't take one because they need me, or my husband is acting, or I don't even think the husbands be acting up. They just be thinking the husbands
Yeah.
be acting up. So how are you taking bubble baths? I'm just being really specific.
I treat my kids as people, right? So it's like when they are calling me mommy because they talk to me so much, they love me. We're best friends, right? So they're telling me
Oh,
everything.
that's nice.
And I'm like, you guys have called my name like 10 times in 5 minutes. So we're gonna not say mommy for about 10 minutes. I'm very honest with them. I'm like, I'm a bit overwhelmed right now. So I just need a space. And I'll do that and I'll go take a bath. My husband, like, it'll be like when he's home or something,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
still have babies. Like I still got like 1-year-old and 3-year-old.
Me
But
too.
yeah, yeah. So but yeah, I'm just honest with them, and they know that I'm a person like they're a person. And we have that type of balance, those type of boundaries. So
Okay.
yeah, that's really what I do.
That's
Mhm.
different. I like that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
use them tactics. Listen, because I
Yeah.
be like, I don't be telling them stuff like that. I not that I don't look at them as a person. I just know that you're a baby. Like
Yeah.
you don't know that I'm about to take a belt. But like, why do you care? Because when
Right.
they look at me, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what you doing? Taking a shower? Oh," and they'll just stare at the, like the shower space, and they're like, "Okay, like, what
Right.
you trying to get in here?" Like they one of those. They're real nosy. But I
Right.
like that. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids do the same thing. Like I'm in the restroom. I can do this by myself, okay? And they're like, okay, mom. I'm like, okay.
Right? Like, I
Right.
got this. Yeah, listen, I know I wipe your butt, but you don't need to wipe my butt. Like, get out of here. Because my kid, like one of my 3-year-old, he would literally, like, if I'm on the toilet, he'll roll the tissue. This might be TMI for people, but we just talk about our kids. He'll
Yeah.
roll the tissue and like give me, here you go. Like he know I'm done here. And I'm like, I've never seen someone so helpful at the toilet. Like, thank you. It's so cute.
So
Um,
sweet.
yes, Just Ruth says ASAP Rocky switching gender roles and the apparel pushed him to the back. Clothes can make or break the man. ASAP wearing dresses weakened his masculine role.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping traditional ways advantage for families for possible days of tribulations and hardship. The pandemic lockdown was a drill for what's next, traditional families will survive.
Mm.
Yeah, the traditional family will survive in this day and age. Like I think when all hell breaks loose, we already seen it. Pandemic happened a couple years ago, and people
Right.
did not know how to do nothing. Like not even raise their kids. And they're like, you gotta get out this house. And I was like, don't you listen, when are you gonna have this time again? Unless you want this pandemic to keep happening. Honestly, when are you
Right.
gonna have this time again? Because if everybody's all working, everybody's going to school, guess how many hours you see your loved ones? If you all come home at 5 o'clock and then you going to sleep at 9 o'clock, I mean that's not even healthy. But this is what they got us doing, and no one
Right.
thinks like, oh, I need to be at home. Somebody got to be at home. No, they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then you see why sometimes a lot of us don't have it together because we didn't have the beginning foundation. Like when you're like 6, all right, cool, you need to learn this world because it's what you're about to be in. But that first,
Mhm.
I promise for me, those first 5 years are so important. There's nothing
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
And I know you noticed
I
in that
totally
now
agree.
because you're home. So
Hmm.
um
Hmm. I
just
totally agree.
oh, red lipstick. I'm sorry. Hey girl, what's up?
Hey, I gotta get my charger. I don't want it to. It's going dead. Hold on a second.
I gotta get you on this panel one day. And I definitely gotta make it to your page. So yeah, what's up, girl? Just Ruth says, yes, bless you, Lady Di, for sacrificing your TV time naturally to benefit the quality time with children. Rewarding that is in a long run. Yeah, I had to definitely realize, like, okay, it's just TV. Like, who cares about the TV? I'll watch it later.
Right. Right.
And guess what? I want to watch it in peace anyway. I don't want to be watching it when these kids are like, I hate watching movies and TVs when they be all in my face. I'm like, I gotta get out somewhere, but it needs to be in a
Exactly.
time, like bedtime or something that they're not there. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so cool.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, we let me see something here. Now I know this was a stream I create. I don't want to say this stream was last minute because I told you guys I'm going live every Friday at 9:30. But I did bring this stream to Peacock Mama TV last minute. I gave it to her earlier today, and I'm like, this is what we doing. Were you
Yes.
I don't know if your husband is involved with your social media like that, but were you able to show him this picture and ask him his opinion?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay, good.
Um.
What do you say?
Well, he's like, he's very just like straightforward, and he's just like, I don't get it. I don't get why people have a problem with this because she's the artist. So yeah, yeah, that was basically what he was just like. And ASAP Rocky, he was basically saying he's never been this type of, macho type man. He hasn't shown that to us. So it's kind of
Mhm.
that was his whole opinion, that it was just more of the same, of what I
Well,
said.
see,
We agreed. We don't always agree.
yeah,
But he basically agreed with me on that.
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I like that. It seems more logical. I like that he put the fact that she's an artist because I mean, that's who she's been, and the fact that he included ASAP Rocky not being this super masculine person. So why would he be masculine all of a sudden? Because you have to take that into consideration. Now I asked my husband the same thing. When he looked at it, he was like, what's wrong with the picture? Like he didn't look at it like, oh, this is wrong, like automatically.
Yeah.
But I had to ask him another question to kind of get out because I know it's something you could take out from this picture. So eventually, after like a minute, he was like, "Well, yeah, she looked like she run that, like she's a leader in the picture." And I was like,
Mhm.
"That's what everybody else is saying." And I'm like, "I didn't think that." But that's how he looked at it later. It took a while, but it didn't scream at him right away.
Mhm.
So now, as far as leadership goes, do you think because she's a billionaire, that she is the leader because she has more money. Do you believe finances make a person a leader, or do you believe it's just the feminine masculine role that makes you a leader, like your gender?
I definitely feel like it's just the how you are in the home. You know, um, I honestly could make any money that I've ever made. I just gave to my husband. I just was like,
Oh gosh,
my check is here.
you did what?
Any money that that I've ever made, I just gave to him. You
Why?
know,
Why
that's
did
just
you do that?
how we work. Well, that's just how we work. So and I've made more money than him. We had a time in our marriage where I made more money, and I still just gave him my money. You know, that was it. So I don't at all feel like finances, make the leader. I mean, for all we know, Rihanna could be doing that. Maybe not, because see, the thing is, when you get married a little bit later, or I keep saying that they're married, right? I keep saying that anyway. But when you when you get with someone and committed later, it might look different.
Yeah.
See, my husband and I've been doing that and kind of giving him that since early 20s. So,
Mm.
but so anyways, yeah, no, I it's just who you are in the home, you know, and that's who's the masculine part and that's who's the feminine. Yeah.
So we're gonna break this down because the reason why I had you repeat it is because I know women will go crazy hearing what the hell you just said.
Oh
Now, I'm
no.
gonna give my opinion. I hear what you're saying, but I like, can you explain? Because women feel like, okay, I'm giving my husband my check. You just said you made more money than him at one point, right?
Mhm.
So women would be like, what? What are you talking about? I would never. So why did you do it? And then did you feel less power or something, like you made more money but you still gave him, all of this money? Did you feel like he was going to use you or something? Like, explain, why did you do it, and how did you feel when you did it?
Yeah. Well, when we were dating, he showed more responsibility with money than I did, and I
Mm,
watched that. I was very observant because see, the way a man handles his money is a very it's just a big thing you have to look at. So he was very, very responsible with his money. And I just wasn't. I mean, it's not the fact that I was just like spending money and I paying my bills. It wasn't to the extreme. It's just that he was the more responsible party. And I trusted him. I married him. So I don't see a problem with it at all. He handled the finances, as he does still to this day. So
okay.
I trust him. It was just a trustworthy type thing. And that was it.
Okay.
He gives me
That
everything I want. Anything I want, he gives me. So it's like, what's the point? I get all the money with none of the responsibility except for going to work. You know what I mean? It's just that. So yeah.
Okay, that was a very straightforward answer. You're
Yeah.
like, he was good with finances. So let's say he wasn't good with finances, then what?
I wouldn't have married him. That was it.
Ooh.
That would be it.
See, I like you
Yeah.
said. See, you see, another woman could have said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna take care of it." You're like, "Well, if you can't handle finances, honey, we not gonna be together." I
Right.
like
No, we're
that.
not.
I know that's right. So it's like, there are women who they're with men that just are not responsible. And my thing is, you don't have to be with them. That's not like a force. That's a choice. If he's not responsible, you can't expect him to be responsible when he becomes a father or when he becomes a husband. He just ain't responsible. And he probably will never be responsible. And guess what? You can't make him responsible. That's something he has to get on an outside source, another male figure. Maybe he needs his mother, because some men that are not responsible, they're probably missing that nurturing stuff that we were talking about earlier. So it's something missing, because a man, I feel like most men are men. They act like men. But the ones who don't, it's because of a reason. And I don't think us women consider that part. Like, you got to talk about how he grew up. Just because someone has two parents in the household don't mean he grew up good, because both of them could have been both crazy as hell. Let's be real. I support two parent households. I think it gotta be that way. But if two people in the house are not getting it together, then it could be bad. But at least it's just their parents and not, okay, I'm gonna divorce you because you're crazy. And then you get with another crazy person because you crazy too, right? You crazy, you're gonna get another crazy person. So now you got the biological father, the crazy ass stepdaddy, and your ass, and then the person maybe that's too many people. So
Right.
it's natural for a child to just deal with their natural born, their natural parents. And then that's just something that you have to deal with. I believe that it's too much trauma when you add so many people. So I said out all that to say is that some men don't have it together because of how they grew up. And that's any of us, that's women and men. But yeah, so you gave your check. Now you're not working. Not saying you're not making any source of income, but you're not like out working. So would you still give your earnings? Do you still give your earnings to your husband now?
Yeah. Honestly, don't have any. We're so, I know it's like when I say these things out loud, it sounds so like we're in 1950s. But yeah, like I don't know what bills are, Lady Di. I don't know what anything costs. Okay.
Oh
So
wow!
yeah,
Like how much your mic
I
cost?
give him right.
How much
I don't
your mic
know.
cost?
He ordered this for me. So like we are very much, like, and I love it like that. I don't have to worry about these things. I can imagine having to worry about like being single, and being a good mom and doing all that plus doing all the things. I couldn't imagine that's difficult. And so that's why you don't want to choose to be in that space. And things happen. I'm not saying life doesn't happen completely. You know what I mean? But most of the time, we are cognizant of the choices. And we just don't realize that there's such big choices to make. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what's up. I have a question with that last statement, but let me get into the chat. Uh, let's see. So this is, I think, pertaining to you saying that you gave your check to your husband. So Misery Loves Company says
Oh.
that's what's up. Most women today cannot or can't do that at all. It's not happening. Jones Boy says, LOL, that's dope. I remember this was brought up as a side topic on the piece. Yeah, for sure. Jones Boy says many wouldn't be able to do that. No. Snuggle says, do you look at your man as if he was God? Why or why not?
Uh,
You don't have to
that's such
answer
an
if you don't want
interesting. That is such an interesting question. I like Snuggle 668. Um, I can't say look at him as if he was a god, like he's the creator of all things. Now, do I reverence him and I honor him? Oh yes. Yes. I do. When I got married, I'm like I'm giving my life to this person that I'm committed to because he is doing the same. It's a mutual thing. It's not like all praise to my husband type thing. It is a mutual sacrifice. So we're both taken care of. Because before we got married, we made sure we were whole. You know what I mean? So then we come together and we take care of one another. It's that type of vibe. So
Okay.
yes, but no.
Snuggles also asks, is cooking and cleaning part of your job in the house?
Yeah. I only do it. I'm the one that does it. So yeah.
Mhm. Beautifully Animated says, mortals can't beat God. So, yeah, so I wanted to ask you. So you say you don't know how much your mic costs or how most of the things in your home or bills cost. So my intake on that is he wants you to focus on you being a mother and a wife. And if you start thinking about bills and how much stuff costs, You could then be like, well, I don't think we need that, or I think we need this, or I think we need 10,000 things. And then you're ordering all of this stuff on Amazon, and it's taking your focus away of other things that you could be doing that's a little bit more productive, or whatever the case is. So it seems like he has a plan. His plan is like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure my wife doesn't have to worry about that. I think that that is so sweet. So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am guilty of that. I don't even know how much my mic costs. I just said, hey, I need a mic. I sent him a link. Yeah, I was suggested to buy this. And he was like, yeah, but because I already know how my husband is. He's like a bargain shopper. He ain't buying everything. He's gonna make sure it's the right deal. On top of it's a good quality mic or whatever the case is. So I don't even know how much my mic costs. And some of the stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know what everything costs. I just don't even care because I know that he is responsible with finances. I am too, but he just takes care of it because he likes to. He one of those that will go to the store and he'll be looking at like the actual description and okay, per cents cost this unit price. And I'm like, okay, see, you going to a whole nother level. And I'm like, I like that. It will be great, especially having a large family. And now we do have a large family. So those type of things help us save money. So we could buy the expensive things that are important. So yeah.
Right. Right.
That's what's up. So yeah, we have a lot of similarities. You guys, this is my first time literally talking to her on like a video. We've been
Yeah.
talking, in the DMs and stuff, but yeah, we're gonna wrap up here. Um, what's up, Ramses? How are you? We are about to end. You could definitely catch the replay. But yeah, so any last words on the particular topic with Rihanna or something that you may want to say to the audience as far as femininity?
Yeah. I guess. I mean, even thinking of, I don't know, femininity is such a misunderstood thing, and unfortunately, it's become this subservient, degrading role that no one wants to take, even though it's one of the most fulfilling things, to be in your feminine space. And like you said before, we are in our most of us are dominantly, we want to be feminine, but we're so busy because we've been taught to be masculine. We've been taught that we need to protect ourselves from men, from the world, that we have created this shell thinking that that's protecting us when really is not. It's a facade. So the protection and the love that we seek really does lie in femininity. It lies in when you know how it's like, you give, and then since you're giving, it'll always come back to you. It's that type of thing. When you're
Yeah,
constantly giving love, you're gonna get it back. When you're constantly
yeah,
giving peace, you don't have to hold on to it for dear life thinking that it will never come back. It's gonna come back to you 10 times, because that's because you gave it freely. And so I just want us to remember that, you know that's where the true freedom, like we said earlier, lies. So yeah.
yes. It's like, so many levels to it, but that is definitely one part of the freedom aspect. And also, being feminine also is not just being feminine to a man, it's also you as a person to other women. So being feminine looks like you ain't got no drama, you not gossiping and having all these issues with women. That's not feminine. That's like masculine because men fight, right? We shouldn't be fighting one another. We're supposed to be uplifting one another and saying like just even just now, I'm trying to get some insight on how she takes bubble baths with, her dynamic. I'm like, I want to do that. So we share it, experience. We share, okay, this is what I do because we're supposed to help guide each other because who else is going to help guide us? Men can't always guide us. Men can help, but that's not even their job. We supposed to been had this already, but we didn't. So the smart men that are out there saying, hey, yeah, this is not what that looks like. I'm gonna need you to fix that because I do appreciate you. I think that you're a good woman, but this has to happen or we're not getting married. Cool.
Mhm.
You think he's a respectable dude? Do what you got to do. It's not like the end of the world. It's actually making you better. But this is
Yeah.
how bad it's gotten. Men are doing a woman's job, the elder's job. That's not a man's job. They're supposed to do what they're doing. So I do appreciate men that do that, and there's so much respect for that. So yeah, just work on all of us, because we all could struggle at times. It takes time. It's not like you're gonna have it right away. Like, for example, me and Peacock Mama, I have a good 7 years of being this way. And in the 7 years, I wasn't where I'm at today the first year. Like, it takes time, because you don't even see it. We walk outside, you don't see nobody being feminine, not even
Right.
a speck. So we looking at the nonsense all day and like, damn, okay, all right, this is what I got to do. You don't even have examples. So, I say, if you want to have a change, be around people that are feminine. You know what that look like, because it ain't you. So be around that, and then and then ask questions. How do you feel? How do you stay happy? Because people think you're not happy. No, you happy as hell, actually. So I think it's something that we should be doing, and I would definitely have Peacock Mama back on here again, and
Yay.
probably do some other ladies on here, and we could really dive into some serious topics, because Rihanna, I wouldn't say is serious, but I think that the picture and what it portrays is serious. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah. If you would like to follow her, I have her in my description, her YouTube channel. But she is popping on Instagram, you guys, for sure. Did you do Instagram first? Like, how did that happen? I'm just asking, when you started this.
One of my one of my videos went viral on Instagram. That's what happened on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it went. One of my herbal teas went viral. I'm very shocking. I can be very shocking. So, so the what it's about, what the herbal tea is about, which is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she actually said that. So it's that. So that's what happened on Instagram. That's why it's just so big on Instagram. Huh?
Send it to me. I want to see this.
Okay. Yeah, it has like millions of views. That
Oh,
video.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's up. But hey, yeah, she's popping on Instagram for sure. Like, you guys follow her. She got some cool tips. But it's Peacock Mama TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, great. All right, so we'll be chatting
Yeah.
soon. We'll talk on the DMs, and we will have a IG live one day too. I will let you guys know. We'll do that one day. All right, girl. Thanks for
Okay,
being
good. Okay. Of course. All
here.
right. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I like to always have different perspectives, because I'm me. I'm gonna show you what I do in my experience, and then things I observe, and then hey, other people have these lives too, and just hit more of, okay, you may not be like me, but you may be like Peacock Mama or whatever. So it's just bringing more diversity to the platform, because we're all different. But I do appreciate everyone who has been here for sure. Thank you so much for all the comments. Thank you so much, Beautifully Animated Speaks. Thank you. Awesome conversation, ladies. Great show. Thank you so much. Jones Boy says this live was peaceful as hell, and loved to listen in. Both of y'all mindsets are different today. Nothing but boss be slave doormat talk concerning this. Legit love it. Right. What's up, Snuggles? I'm gonna answer this question, but for sure I'll answer some of them into the comments when I end the live. What do you all speak to when you're having problems in a relationships? Sorry, who do you all speak to? We speak to each other. If you can't speak to your significant other, then you have it all wrong. You should be able to hash out your problems with your spouse or your, partner. So yeah. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna end this now, and we'll be back at it again on Friday next week. I will have another guest as well. So I appreciate everyone. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. And of course, I'm going to play the song of the hour, the ones you guys like.
Artlist.io.
I believe one day, I believe in the future. I believe
Music licensing reimagined.
I believe what you truly desire, you can bring to pass. All you need is a focus and a story to hold, and the faith that you can achieve what's inside your soul. Someday we'll make it all right. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way,
Artlist.io.
gonna get. Someday we'll make it all right. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get better. Know that you can make it. Hold it tight, cause they will try to take it.
Music licensing reimagined.
But whatever you do, don't let them break it. This moment's just a new chance to take into your own hands and shape the life you see inside your dreams. Someday we'll make it on by. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get.
Artlist.io.
Someday we'll make it on. Someday we'll make it. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get better. In your heart there lives a dream for your soul to master.
Music licensing reimagined.